One of the things that a company should be thinking about when they form themselves is what their exit strategy will be. But really, to me, it's another way of saying, what is your strategic vision? And for some folks, that strategic vision may be, let's build the company to a point where it's ready to be consumed or bought by another company in the space so that you can take advantage of that company's greater resources, greater market share, et cetera. But really the key is to make sure that you have that strategic vision from the outset, so that when it comes time to sell the company or consider selling the company, you can look back at that strategic vision and say, is this at a place now where we have accomplished our strategic vision? Where are we at on the path to that strategic vision? And use that as the calculus, as part of the calculus for whether or not to sell. So once the decision has been made that we want to sell the company, it's really the questions that the company has to ask itself, or the leaders of the company have to ask, is, are we ready to sell? Operationally, has the company been profitable, showing a good growth rate for the last 2-3 years, so that there is an ability for someone who's going to buy the company to look back at past performance as an indicator of future success? Sometimes you have to determine whether or not the company is financially stable. You know, are we in the zone of insolvency? A lot of times now, with the tough financial times, companies are finding it hard to meet their make their ends meet, and so the duty to the creditors comes first. You have to be able to pay the creditors first, and then you have to look at some of the other considerations. Is this a business that the entire community around us is solely dependent upon? Has this business been in the family for generations? Those are the other kinds of constituencies that the needs of which must be balanced. A couple of the things that could derail a deal are poor record keeping and poor negotiation strategy. Poor record keeping is really a detriment to the deal, because if I'm the buyer of a company and I've got to sift through shoeboxes of receipts to figure out what the financial health of the company is, it's a waste of my time. And I'd rather go off and buy the competitor of that company that's got their act altogether. Poor negotiation strategy can kill a deal, because if the entire team, whether that's the financial advisors, the lawyers, the accountants, and the employees, if they're not on the same page, they could be telling different stories to the buyer, and the buyer may not be getting what they need out of the discussions. And so we have a saying in the Marine Corps, the plan is nothing but planning is everything, so you have to start out with that good negotiation strategy.